everybody, so today we are talking about everybody's favorite troublemaker, Ozpin. Ozpin is the troublemaker, guys. So Raven says that she has some dirt on Ozpin because that she used to trust Ozpin and now she can't trust Ozpin anymore. So, Hunter, basically this video is going to be talking about what exactly... Do you want me to do it?
I'm a big boy, I can do it myself.
Okay. About what exactly you think that this dirt is. And so I have some ideas, but, you know... If you wanna kind of go first, like, what do you think Raven is gonna say that turned her off from Ozpin completely? Because we get this idea that Ozpin is not who he says he is, sort of situation. Like, it's happening.
I feel like it has something to do with the death of Summer Rose. I feel like that's quite easy.
Yeah, and so that's kind of... Oh, you did it.
Mm-hmm.
And so that's kind of what
I
was kind of thinking that, like, something happened with Summer, something along the lines of,
Maybe
you know...
they were romantically involved.
No, that Summer was sent on a mission by Ozpin only to die, and so she doesn't trust Ozpin because Summer died at his hands and when he knew that that would happen, sort of thing. Sort of a similar situation with Pyrrha, but at the same time, Ozpin didn't tell Pyrrha to fight Cinder. Like, he didn't tell her to go after her. Pyrrha did that by herself, and that was pretty dumb. Sorry to anybody that likes Pyrrha there. But I think that no matter if you like her or hate her, you can agree that it wasn't a good idea. And nobody forced her to do it. And, like, the fact that she didn't really change anything. Like, in terms of the Follow Beacon. Like, she did not save the day. She did not pass go. She did not collect $200.
I wonder how Vernal will feel about learning that one of the other maidens died horrifically. She's like, well, fuck me. That's my life, right?
Well,
maybe that's why she didn't want to, like, start in the first place.
Yeah, maybe. But that was way, way before. That was a decade ago. Cinder did not get these powers a decade ago, right?
Oh, no, not Cinder, but Vernal. But Pyrrha, I guess.
No, but I'm saying that Vernal left...
Yeah, obviously not for the same reason, but it's like, that's why I left, because I knew bad shit was going to happen, or...
But she wouldn't, because nothing happened 10 years ago.
But you don't know what happened.
Yeah, but I'm saying in terms of Cinder...
We might learn more stuff, you know?
I know, but I'm saying in terms of Cinder beating up Amber, that didn't happen around the same time she left Lionheart. So there could have been another incident with a maiden that's similar.
Maybe that's also why she left. Maybe that's why she picked up... Maybe she learned more about it. She didn't. Maybe there's something else.
But
maybe
you understand what I'm saying, though. I'm saying that your Amber thing isn't relevant here because she was already gone by that point. Like, she was already gone by the time...
No, I'm talking about, like, maybe just, like...
I know in general, like, something could have happened, but I'm saying in terms of Cinder beating up Amber, that's not something that would have influenced her decision before. It would definitely influence her now if she knows about it.
Yeah, but I'm just saying that maybe she learns... Maybe Vernal's involved with this somehow.
What do you mean?
Maybe Vernal's involved with what with Ozpin's big secret with what caused Raven to leave.
Yeah, but that could have been...
Because Vernal leaving...
No, but that doesn't make sense either.
Because Vernal and leaving...
Because Raven left the tribe at least 17 years ago, and then Vernal left a decade ago, and so that's 7 years in between...
We left the tribe.
Raven came back to the tribe 17 years ago, when Yang was born.
Okay.
Right? Vernal left from Lionheart 10 years ago.
I thought it was one. No, I'm mixing up the chronology for the death of Summer Rose.
No.
You're right. Yeah.
So, and even Summer died, I think, like 2 years after RWBY was born or something like that.
After she left.
Yeah.
So so you get the feeling that maybe Summer Rose...
probably
does have nothing to do with Summer Rose.
Raven leaving has nothing to do with why Vernal left, unless, and here's where I'm kind of connecting your idea, because I think it's a good idea, it's just malformed in your, like, nosebleeded, like, brain. And so here's what I'm thinking, okay? You have to... Yeah. Here's basically my thoughts, is that... Here's the timeline. Ozpin does something shitty, okay? Raven leaves... and it has nothing to do with Summer at that point, okay? So you have Ozpin doing some shady shit, and then Raven leaving, right? Then Summer gets into the picture, Summer dies, right? That has Raven even more tilted, you could say. Or maybe they already planned Summer to do something that would cause her death before Raven left. You know what I'm saying? And that's why Raven ended up leaving. Does that make sense? And so it wasn't her death, but it was that she knew in 2 years Summer would end up dead because of Ozpin. Mm-hmm. Does that make sense? And so that way you could still relate it to Summer without fucking up the entire timeline. So here we got, let's say, for example, either Ozpin does something or Ozpin is leading Summer to her death, right? Then Raven leaves, Summer's death happens, and obviously Raven knows it was going to, right? So then what you have is Raven going about her, let's say, 5 years in the tribe, right? Then she figures out Vernal is a spring maiden. We don't know how yet. She tells Vernal all of Ozpin's dirty secrets. She doesn't want Vernal doesn't want to work with Lionheart anymore, and they kind of like stage a kidnapping, and Persephone goes away because we did a video on that.
Because Lionheart has a penchant for lying to these people.
Yeah.
And so when he says that she was stressed, maybe he's not telling the whole truth.
Yeah, exactly. Well, obviously not, because we don't know why. But I'm saying that in terms of why she could have been, Raven could have told her the truth. That could have put her on edge and stressed her out, and so she went with Raven, basically. And so that's kind of where I see this entire thing happening. But more of the question is what Raven is mad about related to Summer? Because she couldn't have left because of that. Because Summer dies 2 years later-ish, right? After RWBY is born. Because RWBY doesn't even remember her mom, apparently. But Yang does somehow, which is weird, but whatever. But sort of the idea is here that it can't... Raven going back has to do with the bandits, not necessarily Ozpin. Ozpin's distrust, if it stems from Summer, has to come later, unless, because she left and apparently tore Team Stark apart, right? And so unless Ozpin did something before that, or Ozpin did something, that would cause Summer's death later down the line, and Raven wasn't having that. Does that make sense? I feel like that's really confusing.
That makes a certain degree of sense. I mean, we're just working with the timeline at this point.
Because say, I don't know, say Hunter knew I was gonna die in 2 years, and, one of his friends was gonna kill me. Obviously, he'd abandon his fucking friend, you know what I mean? And then 2 later's,
I think you're assuming too much now.
And then two years later, when I'd actually, kick it, he'd be even more mad, because, obviously it happened. You know what I mean? Does that make sense? Sure. Is that okay? And so, there's sort of 3 ideas, right? It has to do with Summer dying, right? It has to do with Summer dying later down the line, that she was mad that Summer was putting herself in danger all the time, let's say, and it would result in her death, and then it did, or it has nothing to do with Summer whatsoever, and Raven left for an alternative reason, that has to do with something else, and then Summer died, right? And so that even tilted her more. So this video is basically, what is Ozpin's big secret here? Personally, I think that what they're gonna do is that Ozpin made Salem, and that's why he's been cursed by the gods to defeat her, because he basically fucked up with the natural order of things. So that, if you think sort of the Adam and Eve story, you could say, that Adam made Eve and then Eve, fucked with shit. You know what I mean? And so, Salem is the Eve in this scenario. So maybe what happened was, because Ozpin was living lonely in his little cabin in the woods or whatever he was doing, he would guard it to protect the world or some shit. Maybe not yet. But basically, he was sort of favored by the gods in a reversed way, you know what I mean? Because he was cursed by them. Obviously, the gods were paying attention to him, and he had all of these newfound powers, right? So, first, here's what I see happening. So, Ozpin is kind of just chilling in the world, and he decides that there needs to be some sort of balance created, because he is a quote-unquote good being that has all these powers, but there needs to be another being, and so maybe he thinks that, Grimm can sort of be, mitigated, or that the threat of Grimm could go away and he could better protect humanity if he makes somebody like Salem, who is obviously part of the Grimm, sort of. And so, when you think about that, so here's basically where that's going, is that Ozpin makes Salem to try to bring balance. Salem goes crazy. The gods are like, hey, Ozpin, you little shit. And then that's where everything sort of falls apart and Ozpin has to reincarnate. And that's sort of why, Raven is super pissed with him, and basically Ozpin's secret kind of has to do with, I don't want to say Ozpin not caring anymore, but Ozpin going through so many reincarnations that he's really indifferent to the lives of people, which we've
you
talked
get that
about.
a little bit. Not that he's, like, indifferent to the lives of people, but that he's just sort of awkward, because he's, like, stopped caring about social minutiae. He's been around for so long.
You know what I'm saying? So I feel like that is going to be tied into his secret, that he sort of made Salem, right? And this also, okay, so this kind of fits with Wizard of Oz, or not Wizard of Oz, I should say Wicked. So in Wicked, the wizard makes Elphaba, but not in a magical way.
In a rape way?
Yeah. And so there's that. He basically drugs Elphaba's mom and like
goes to town.
You know what? You know what's next. And so in that regard, I think that it could be similar. I don't want to say similar because I think he just made her with magic. You know what I mean? But then, you know, Salem...
That would be fucked up if RWBY had a rape scene. Goodness me.
Like, if Salem sort of, you know, was... I don't want to say was created, but yeah, was created by Ozpin, and then was sort of a creation that went haywire, and that's why, connecting this to this game, actually, and that's why Ozpin is so against Merlot trying to control the Grimm and figure out how they work and stuff like that, you know what I mean? Because Merlot's whole thing is that, if I can control the monsters, I can bring peace to humanity, basically. And Ozpin's like, nah, you little shit, I already tried that with Salem. It did not work out, so stop while you're ahead, sort of thing. And so what do you think about that, Hunter? Because I think that could be something that kind of pisses everybody off, is that Ozpin was the original creator of Salem, and then he kind of changed his mind, and so that's why everybody is in a shitty sort of situation. Like, what do you think about that?
There's so much speculation and like...
Well, that's what this video is.
Yeah,
it's just speculation, right?
I don't know. I want it to be about Summer Rose, but part of me likes the idea of Summer Rose just not, like, her death just being there.
Like, not really being in the equation?
Yes, but I know they won't do that. I really don't think they won't do that.
Because that's what I'm saying. I'm saying that maybe, like, Raven's reasoning has nothing to do with her whatsoever.
I suspect it may not. I feel like I don't know what they're saving Summer for, but I feel like it's not this.
And so that's what I'm saying. I'm saying if it's not Summer, if it's not Summer's treatment from Ozpin, if it's not that Summer would soon die, if it's not any of that, then I think that it has something to do with Salem and the creation of Salem, because it doesn't make sense for the gods to bring a being in their world that would harm the creation of humanity, because they both made humanity together. So the only way that this makes sense is that Ozpin made something that the gods literally just did not want, because Ozpin is the only person that has the power to make things, you could say. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
You feel me?
I understand.
And so I enjoyed the speculation. If you guys have ideas, let us know. Our ideas aren't... I shouldn't say they're not fact, because obviously they're not fact, but I'm saying that...
Are you kidding me? Our word is law.
I'm saying that what we think isn't what we think is the right answer. We just kind of make speculation videos so you guys can speculate with us and we can have an open dialogue.
We have no idea what we're doing.
Exactly, and so that's what I kind of wanted to go through. So I hope that you guys enjoyed, but yeah, that's kind of the gist. Again, it's not so we can be like, this is the right answer, believe it. No. Like, that's what theory videos are for, but these are idea brainstorms either, so you guys can input your ideas, or tell us our ideas are shit, or whatever you want. And so I hope that you guys enjoy that, and we'll see you later. Bye-bye!